Alright guys, so now that we're logged into our server, we just want to do some security stuff, okay? So first thing I want to do is create a new user. I'm actually going to clear this out, so I'm just doing Command L for that, or it might be Control L. I usually switch my Command and Control keys when I'm using a Mac. So if we go down here, we already logged in, so now we want to create a new user. So I'm actually calling my user Django admin because that's really the purpose of this account. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, you don't have to use Django admin. If you want to use something else, that's fine. I'm actually going to make this smaller so that we can see both of these at the same time. Okay, if I can. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's say add user, and I'm going to say Django admin. Actually, maybe we should call it something else. No, that's fine. Whatever. All right, so add user. Now we want to give this user root privileges, okay, or sudo privileges. Oh, actually, first we have to do a password. So let's give this user a password. Let's see. All right, so this stuff, this will ask you for like your name and stuff. You can just enter through all this. Is this correct? Yes. All right, so now we have a new user. So let's clear this up. And now, like I said, let's give this user root privileges. So we want to do user mod dash lowercase a uppercase g sudo. Okay, sudo is the basically like the root group that we want to put this user in, and say Django admin. Okay, so now this user should have admin privileges. I just want to show you something real quick. If we were to log out, so if we say exit, and we try to log in again, so I say SSH, except I want to log in as Django admin. We get a public key deny. Okay, and the reason for this is because the SSH key that we created is only for the root user. So we actually have to, if you look over here, we have to add our SSH key to Django admin's file, authorized keys file. All right, so let's log back in as root. All right, so now I'm logged in as root, and I'm going to cd into home / and then Django admin. Okay, actually, hold on a second. Let's do / like that. All right, so this is the Django admin user's home directory. And as you can see, there's nothing in here. What I want to do is create a file called authorized keys. And then I want to put our SSH key that's on this local machine into that file. And you can see how to do that over here. So we just cd'd into it. Let's make a directory called .ssh. So make dir .ssh. And if we do an LSA, you'll see that folder. Let's cd into .ssh. And from here, we want to create an authorized keys file. Now, you can use different text editors, command line text editors, like you can use Vim if you want. Vim is a little complicated, so I'm not going to use that, just in case people are new to this, which I'm sure many of you are. We're going to use something called Nano, which is very easy to use. Now, if we do Nano and then name a file like authorized _ keys, what it's going to do is it's going to create that file and go into it. So I'm going to hit enter, and it brings us into that file. So what we want to do here is put in our key. So I'm going to go back to, let's see, we want to go outside of our server. So I guess I'll just open up a new tab or just a new terminal, depending on what you're using. Your software might not have tabs, so just open up another terminal. Make sure you're on your local machine. And I want to grab that key again. So I'm going to say cat, and I'm in my home directory, so I'm going to say .ssh. Remember, I'm on my local machine now, and I want to grab ID _ RSA _ DO .pub. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this. and copy it. And let's go to our authorized keys and paste that in. Okay, whoops. Make sure this has to be exact. Again, no spaces or anything like that. And you can't see the whole thing, but you can see that it is added. All right, so now that that's added, to get out of this, you want to do Control X, Control X. It's actually Command X for me. That's why it's a little confusing, because I switch my keys, like I said. So we want to save it, so we're going to say yes. We're going to hit Y, and then we're just going to hit Enter. Okay, and that should save it. So now if I were to do a cat authorized underscore keys, this will show us what's in that file, and you can see that that key is in the file. Okay, so now that we've done that, we should be able to log in as Django admin. So I'm going to exit the server as root and clear this up, and now let's do an SSH as Django admin. And there we go. And you can see that now this is actually colored now because we're not as the root and Django admin at Ubuntu 1. So that's exactly what we want. So now we want to actually disable the root login because it's just a security measure. So we want to open up our nano text editor into this file, sshd config. So we got to say sudo nano, and let's go /etc/ssh/sshd_config. Okay, now this is a config file, so we just want to find these two right here. Permit root login, we want to set to no. Password authentication, we want to set to no, which I believe is already set to no, but we want to make sure. So let's look for permit root login, just going down here, right here. So permit root login right now is set to yes, so we're going to go ahead and change that to no. Okay, and then let's see what else. Password authentication should be around here. So password authentication is already set to no. Good. So to get out, we want to do Control X and then yes, or Y for yes, and then enter. Okay, and that'll save it. And then we just want to reload the SSHD service. So to do that, we can run this command here. And if you don't want to type in this stuff, you can just simply paste it in like that, and that will reload it. Okay, so now what I want to do is just set up our firewall. And I just want to mention that all of these commands, this stuff is all coming from the DigitalOcean documentation. I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning. If I say DigitalOcean, Django, Nginx, let's just do that right here. So if you want to kind of look over this, this is kind of the same thing. It doesn't include like the SSH keys and stuff like that. It doesn't even, actually, this, I don't even know if this is the thing I was looking for, and this is for 16.04. Let's see. Is that it? No, that's not it either. I don't know. They have all kinds of no, that's not even DigitalOcean, but DigitalOcean has all kinds of tutorials on this. So if you need extra help, just go ahead and search their documentation. So next thing I want to do, let's see, we want to do the firewall, so we want to run this right here. So I'll go ahead and clear this out. We'll run sudo, so ufw app list. Okay, so available applications OpenSSH. So we want to make sure that OpenSSH is allowed, so we do sudo ufw allow OpenSSH. Okay, then we want to enable the firewall, so sudo, and ufw is the firewall, and we want to enable it. Let's see, command may disrupt, that's fine, we'll say yes. Okay, and the reason it didn't disrupt us is because we added OpenSSH. OpenSSH is the program that allows us to do the SSH command into the server. All right, and if we want to check the status of the firewall, we can do ufw status, and you can see that OpenSSH is allowed. Okay, so that it's as easy as that to enable just a simple firewall, and these are steps that should be taken for any server. It doesn't matter if it's Django, Node.js, Ruby on Rails, PHP. If you're using just a a standard Ubuntu server, this is stuff that you should be doing. All right, so that's really it, guys, as far as like security provisioning and stuff for now, at least. I think in the next video we're going to start to install stuff. Like you can see, we're going to install Python 3, Postgres, Nginx, all that stuff, and then we'll start to set up our database. Okay, and we'll start to deploy our application. So I will see you in the next video.